Hey guys, Anime Philosopher here, and this is the first video I'm making, so I'm really excited about it. And there's a couple videos I want to make, types of videos I want to make, and this is just one single type of them. The type of video that I'm going to do right now, today for you, is anime battles. Since I was a kid, I got into anime when I was 10 years old, so I always would pit two characters against each other, even if they were from different series. Like, who would win, if this guy fought this guy? So, something I want to do with this channel is go through and really think about and talk about who would win in a battle. And so that's what this video is. My very first video is going to be part 1 of the Akatsuki from Naruto versus the Warlords of the Sea from One Piece. And now, if you know anything about these two teams, you're like, wait a minute, there's only 7 warlords, but there's more than 7 Akatsuki. How are you doing that? Well, it's simple, really. I used all of the warlords and only the original 10 Akatsuki. So anyone who's ever been a warlord of the sea from One Piece is going to have a fight minus Edward Weevil. I did not put Weevil in there because he's new. We don't really know what he can do. No one does. He just came on the scene. So, I didn't put him in there because that would, one, make 11 characters, not 10, and we don't know anything about him. But the 10 members of the Warlords of the Sea that I'm doing, the original 7, so Crocodile, Bartholomew, Kuma, Gecko Moria, Jinbei, Don Quixote do Flamingo, Boa Hancock, Dracula Mihawk, along with Marshall D. Teach, or Blackbeard, Trafalgar Water D. Law, and Buggy. So those are the 10 Warlords of the Sea. And the 10 Akatsuki are the 10 first wave, the 10 original Akatsuki members. So we're looking at Pain, the 6 Paths version, Conan, Deidara, Sasori, Kakuzu, Haiden, Itachi Uchiha, Kisame Hoshigaki, Orochimaru, and Zetsu. So this is the 10 Akatsuki members that I'm going to do. And I've matched them up, and I've tried to make the matches good so that they're even and they make sense about who they're going up against. So, without wasting too much time here, I want to get right into the first match, which is going to be Itachi Uchiha versus Bartholomew Kuma. Now, if you guys know anything about these two characters, you're like, why would you put those two together? Well, there is actually a good reason why I put Itachi and Kuma together. That reason being their abilities. And their abilities are going to match up better than anyone else's, which I'll explain, obviously, later. But, so, just bear with me and trust me on that one. But, let's start talking about it. Let's start talking about the powers. So we'll go over Itachi's powers first. In the world of Naruto, for those of you who don't know, there are 3 different types of jutsu, or techniques. There's taijutsu, physical techniques, ninjutsu, which is a technique that kind of would resemble magic for most, like if you're not familiar with ninjutsu, it's like a magic kind of thing, and genjutsu, which is illusions. So they're like trances that get placed on people, people get placed under. So let's go through the 3 with Itachi. We have taijutsu. And Itachi's taijutsu, not a strong suit, but he's certainly good at it. We see his targeting with throwing knives as incredible. He hits targets in blind spots. So taijutsu is okay. Not a strong suit, though. I would say he's above average in taijutsu as opposed to all the other ninja, but not super great at it. Let's look at ninjutsu. Ninjutsu, he's great at fire style ninjutsu. So a lot of fire style techniques Itachi can do. So, he's good at that. He's definitely good at that, but, again, not his strong suit. So, let's look at what his strong suit is, and that is most definitely genjutsu. Itachi's entire character focuses on genjutsu and putting people under illusions. His most powerful being the Tsukuyomi, which comes with the Mangekyo Sharingan, which, for those of you who don't know, is the next level of the regular Sharingan. which the whole Uchiha clan, most members get the Sharingan. He has the Mangekyo. It's the next step. But the Tsukuyomi, he places people in a trance for what appears to those people to be 72 hours of Itachi doing whatever he wants to them, and that's going to be able to break anybody's psyche. I mean, obviously, that's a long time, so anybody's probably going to crack under those conditions. So, there are some other things, though, that come with the Mangekyo Sharingan that are great for Itachi, that are really good for him to be able to use. First of all, the Amaterasu, or Amaterasu, depending on how you say it, is an amazing technique of Itachi's. This is, if he looks at something, he can actually ignite it in black flames. And these black flames will keep burning until whatever they've touched is totally ash. So totally burnt up, and doesn't matter what you do, they will not go out. So that's obviously pretty incredible and going to be very useful in this fight for Itachi to be able to use those black flames that will burn anything no matter what. So they're a lot stronger than like the red-orange kind of flames, normal flames that he uses for fire-style techniques. The next giant thing he has going for him here with the Mangekyo Sharingan is the Susanoo, which is an armor that is very durable. We've seen it be able to take a lightning bolt big enough to crush a mountain. Like, this lightning bolt came down and destroyed the entire area around him, the entire mountain that he was on, but he was almost untouched because of his Susanoo armor. So that's how strong it is. Blasts and attacks are very big, can be taken. With the Susanoo armor, exclusive to Itachi, he also has the Yada Mirror, which is a shield that will reflect any attack that's hit on it. It'll change its properties and reflect it, like a mirror kind of reflects things. This reflects attacks. And the Totsuka Blade, a blade that when it pierces something, it absorbs that something. We saw him use this against Orochimaru, to absorb the remnants of Orochimaru out of Sasuke's body using the Totsuka Blade. But those are the two big things that Itachi has going for him in this fight. I'm very excited for this, and to see Itachi really, you know, I love thinking about Itachi actually getting down and fighting Kuma. And so that leads us to our second character, Bartholomew Kuma. Let's get into what he can do. The world of One Piece is obviously different than the world of Naruto. In the world of One Piece, I would say there's still three basic powers, like areas you can derive power from. One is your physical abilities. So it's things outside of the other two categories. I'm going to just call this like the other category of powers. So it's things that you train on your own. So, for example, Zoro's swordsmanship, that's not related to any of the other powers. That's him, his own training. But so physical abilities, devil fruit powers, are a big thing in One Piece. They're pretty much can allow you to do anything, almost like kind of like magically. But if you eat this devil fruit, you can't swim, but you can do whatever that power is. And Haki, which is something that the characters awaken in themselves to increase their power and their influence. So let's go through the three with Kuma. One, Haki. We'll start there because it's very simple with Kuma. Kuma doesn't have Haki. No forms of Haki he possesses. He is without it, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to think about factoring that in. So let's go to physical abilities, because Kuma does have some notable physical abilities. First of all, the big thing with his physical abilities is Kuma is a cyborg. So what that means is his mental capacity is done. He doesn't have human thinking anymore, because I'm trying to use these characters at the moment they are right now, and he doesn't have physical he doesn't have mental functioning as a human. He only operates on directives like a robot. That's going to be important for this fight, and we'll see why later. But he only operates on his directives. He also has recognition, criminal recognition, so he can recognize and detect criminals that are around him, which is also going to be useful, especially fighting a ninja who is pretty good at camouflaging and hiding himself. I would imagine that that's going to be helpful for Kuma to find Itachi. But above that, he has a metal exoskeleton, a metal armor kind of thing under his skin, and this is stronger than steel, whatever this is made of is very hard to cut. Zoro tried to cut it, and Zoro could cut steel, but he couldn't cut Kuma. So that tells me that whatever this is, it is extremely hard. It's harder than steel, and extremely durable, and almost impossible to get through. Along with that, another big, this for attacking offensively, is the laser beam that Kuma can fire from his mouth. So this laser beam can travel at the speed of light and makes an explosion, a significant explosion, probably about, the size of like a 2-story house. I mean, it's certainly a big explosion that Kuma can create with his mouth here. But, so yeah, that's like his physical abilities. That's the extent of his cyborg capabilities, which are going to help him out immensely in this fight, I'm sure. So, let's go to Devil Fruit abilities, the third category of power from One Piece. And his Devil Fruit ability is he ate the Paw Fruit, which is a Paramecia-type Devil Fruit ability, which is pretty much the other category for Devil Fruits. But what that did is it gave him dog or bear-like paws on the palms of his hands. And what these paws allow him to do is to push anything. So, it kind of sounds like a stupid power at first, but it's actually really cool. His signature way to use this power is to take a sumo wrestler kind of stance and to push the air. And so when he does that, it's kind of like sending out cannonballs of air at his opponents, which do devastating effects. So it's like he's firing continuous cannonballs by pushing the air with his Devil Fruit. Also, one of his big attacks with his Devil Fruit powers is called Ursus Shock. And Ursus Shock is where he takes the air and he compresses it into a small, tiny ball. Compresses a ton of air into this small little ball, and he sends it out. And when that gets to the right distance, it explodes. Like, I'm talking like 10-foot or 10-story building explodes. It's bigger than his laser beam for sure, and definitely more destructive than the laser beam that Kuma has. It is a massive explosion. So that's his big attack. Definitely going to be useful for him in this fight. Destructive capabilities are going to be useful, especially against Itachi Susanoo. So it's good for him to have that. One other thing to mention with his Devil Fruit powers is he can actually hit people at fast enough so that the eye loses track of them. And this includes himself. He can actually hit himself so that he can move faster than the eye can see. Again, going to be very helpful in his fight against Itachi for sure. And it's not just physical things. He actually has been able to push out pain from other people. So reject pain. So that is a partial healing capability for Kuma, but definitely very effective. It shows us that he can literally push anything, even if it's fatigue, like a physical kind of thing inside of you, not outside. So, without further ado, I want to talk about who I think won through my research, and I did do a lot of research on this topic, and I think the clear winner here is Bartholomew Kuma. So I'm sorry for you Naruto fans, you Itachi fans. I know Itachi's huge. I love Itachi. But I think Kuma definitely takes the cake on this one. And why I paired these two up is because Kuma's a cyborg. And I think if Itachi went against anybody else, any human, he would be able to win because of the whole Genjutsu. Because Itachi's Genjutsu is crazy. And anybody in One Piece isn't going to see that coming. So Itachi's going to win the fight. But Kuma isn't affected by it. He was once a human, so I would say he probably gets placed under the Genjutsu. But the torture and the mental fatigue wouldn't hit him, because Kuma has the cybernetic mind that just says go, go, go to whoever he's taken out, to the directive. So he's not going to be affected by Genjutsu in that way. So if he's not affected by Genjutsu, Itachi has Amaterasu and Susanoo that can really back him up. And his Fire-style Jutsu isn't ever going to hit Kuma. It's going to... Even if it hits him, it's not going to do much damage. Because of that metal exoskeleton, because of Kuma's defense, it's never going to do much damage. I don't think at all. So, that means that Amaterasu and Susanoo is what he has. So, Amaterasu, Kuma can move faster than the eye can see. So I don't think Amaterasu would hit him. But, let's take into account that Kuma doesn't know that Itachi possesses that ability. So, out of the blue, he gets hit with Amaterasu. I could say, yeah, that could probably happen. But Kuma's Devil Fruit ability would allow him to push the flames off of himself. I believe if he's able to push things like physical fatigue, he can definitely push these physical black flames off of himself, creating kind of a loophole to the hole that burns anything till it's done. So Amaterasu doesn't affect him. Let's look at Susanoo. First of all, to Itachi's credit, I don't think anything Kuma could do could pierce or break the Susanoo armor. Susanoo armor is way too strong. Anything Kuma could throw at him, it would either be reflected by the Yata mirror or defended against by the armor. I think there's nothing in Kuma's arsenal that could stop the Susanoo armor. So that leaves the paradox, well, how does Kuma win? He can't get through to Itachi, and Itachi can't get through to him. It's just an endless fight. That's where chakra comes in. Chakra is the big, and this is probably going to be a theme throughout this. I'm not sure yet. I haven't done the other fights. This is the only fight that I've really researched in depth so far, but probably chakra is going to come into play a lot in the other fights, because chakra is a concept that One Piece doesn't have. One Piece, they don't run out of energy. They get physically fatigued and run out of energy that way, but they don't have a set amount of power. Naruto, they have chakra, and when that chakra runs out, you stop being able to do things. So I think eventually Kuma would be able to push Itachi far enough that he would run out of chakra and have to drop the Susanoo, and then Kuma would just have a heyday and destroy him. So I think that's how that ends. Unfortunately for Itachi, I think he's going to run out of energy, and Kuma's never going to run out of energy because Devil Fruit powers don't go away. And neither does Kuma's cybernetic enhancements, and no matter how much he's injured, he's going to keep going. As far as the Totsuka blade that Itachi has, which I didn't mention, I think Kuma could also reject that, push that away. It is an ethereal blade, but again, Kuma can push ethereal things, like fatigue, out of someone's body, so I think he could easily reject that, and even if he can't reject it, he can move fast enough to dodge a blade. If he can dodge the Amaterasu, he can certainly dodge the Totsuka blade. So I think, without a doubt, Bartholomew Kuma is the winner. So there it is. That's my first video. This is the first battle in this Akatsuki versus Warlords of the Sea fight. So we got 1 for the Warlords, 0 for the Akatsuki. So I will love to see how the rest of these fights play out. Guys, if you like anything I had to say, please like the video. If you disagree with me, please comment. Also like the video. But comment and tell me, hey, why do you disagree with me? Because I'm open to hear suggestions, and I'm open to possibly even change the outcome of this battle and maybe give the Akatsuki 1 and the Warlord 0. If you guys present me with an argument that I'm like, well, yeah, I think that's right. So I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, this is one segment of something that I want to do. This isn't all I want to do. I'll be coming out with more videos, such as manga reviews I want to do. Some philosophy of anime stuff. Obviously, I'm the anime philosopher, so I want to do some anime philosophy stuff about characters and shows as a whole. Other things like theories, I'll probably be coming out with a lot of One Piece theories. I love One Piece theories, and maybe theories for some other shows too. If I think of them or see them somewhere online, I would like to bring that to you guys. So, with that being said, this is the Anime Philosopher, signing off.